There were around 500 people jammed in this room. I talked to the authorities here, the hotel management, and they said this was the largest meeting they ever had, 85 people standing. So we went to 2 sessions on the weekend nights, 5 and 7. Tonight, the 5 o'clock meeting was 2/3 to 3/4 full, and had we put this group and the 5 o'clock group into one meeting at 7, we never would have fit in the auditorium. So thank you for coming at 7. Throughout the week, because of the drive and the traffic, we'll only meet at 7 o'clock, as Randy mentioned. But back next Friday night and next Saturday night, we'll be at 5 and 7 again. Randy mentioned the Bible lessons. Let me tell you a little bit about the lessons. As I've traveled the world, people ask me questions like, if God is so good, why is the world so bad? Why does God allow such injustice in the world? Is it that God is not loving, so he allows injustice? Or is it that he's not powerful enough to stop it? So we've looked at the Bible at these great themes. What about heaven? Is heaven a place pie in the sky by and by? Will there be real activities in heaven? What are we going to do in heaven? Or what about the subject of the return of Jesus? How will Jesus come? Will every eye see him? Will it be a rapture? What about the tribulation? So what I've done is taken the main themes of the Bible. The Bible was written by 44 different authors, 66 different books, over 1,500 years. And so what we've done is we've looked at the great themes of the Bible. We've taken all the texts on a common topic, or at least most of them, and put them together. And so the Bible course is free. You just take it, fill out a lesson, bring it back. It's something you can do in the privacy of your own home. Some of you may be already familiar with Search for Certainty lessons. You've started them. You haven't completed them. You can bring them here if you'd like, and we'll be happy to look them over for you and give you the next lesson. Let me tell you a little bit about tomorrow night. How many of you are going to be here tomorrow night? Well, you're going to be by yourself. There's no people. I always have to at least see if my audience is paying attention, right? All right. When's our next meeting, everybody? Tuesday. Oh, this is a sharp audience. I knew it was. So next meeting is Tuesday night. Tuesday night, we're talking about the child in the Middle East that'll change the world. We're entering into the Easter season. And I'll talk about the prophecies that show beyond a shadow of a doubt from the Old Testament that Christ is the Messiah. We'll show the clear evidence of who Jesus is and why prophecy is credible. See, if you look at the Bible, there are 800 verses on Bible prophecy. About 90% of them have already been fulfilled. And so when you look at the prophecies about the life of Christ, it helps you have confidence that the prophecies about the book of Revelation indeed will be accurate. So we'll go down and look at the Christ of Revelation, look at the prophecies about his life. It's an amazing study. Also on Tuesday night, some of you have attended our health meetings in the past. How many of you attended maybe Health to the Max, Cooking School? Hey, great. A number of you have done that. My wife's going to open up on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock with a message of health on some of the research about how to live longer and happier. That message alone may change your life. And so she'll talk, and then we'll have the music, then I'll come on. But the meeting will go again about the same time that it's been going. So we'll look forward to that. We have health on Tuesday and Wednesday night. Next Friday night, we'll have some music. And also, we're going to start questions and answers next Friday night. How do we do that? Put a question box out at the back. And if you have any question at all, we welcome your questions. We want you to be free to ask them. We've found if we have questions in a public forum, it takes up too much time. But if you will write out a question, put it in the question box, and I'll try to have 10 or 15 questions I answer a night. You answer them rapid fire. You can ask whatever you want to ask. You feel free. Somebody asked me not long ago, who is Adam's mother? And you know the answer to that question? The earth, because God created him out of earth, right? Okay, so yeah, we'll look forward to that. We'll put out a question box for you on Tuesday evening. If you have any questions, feel free to write them out. Also, on Tuesday evening, we call it guest night. There are times throughout our meetings where we really focus, and because this is Easter week, and because it's a meeting on the prophecies of Christ, it's guest night. Anybody that you bring that night will get a beautiful picture of Jesus that can be framed. It's a small picture, about 5 by 8, 5 by 7, and you'll get one as well. We wanted to give you as a token of our appreciation for your inviting your guests and a memento to do that. So look forward to Tuesday and Wednesday night. If you think of somebody you might invite, maybe an in-law, maybe a friend, an in-law, an outlaw, anybody you want to invite, you invite them on that Tuesday evening. Do you each have a schedule of the meetings so you know exactly when they are in the topics? Anybody not have a schedule of the meetings? Just raise your hand if you don't have a schedule. I have a few folks, somebody over here, don't have schedules. Another person over here doesn't have a schedule. Ushers, just watch where the hands are up, and we'll be happy to put a schedule of the meetings in your hands. So, again, our ushers will get schedules, and we'll be sure to place one in your hands so that you will be able to know exactly when the meetings are. Again, just raise your hand. I see the ushers in the back of the schedules. 1, 2, 3, 4, number of people needing schedules. And thank you very much for coming every night. Incidentally, just so I know, how many of you tonight are here because, or you saw one of our brochures that went out? Anybody see one of our brochures that went out? That a number of you, many of you saw those. Thank you very much for coming. You know, the great theme of the book of Revelation is that Christ wins